Newsom says he is fed up. There are no more excuses. He says the state has done its part, providing plenty of funding to get encampments cleared up. He wants to see the results now. Governor Newsom made the announcement here in Los Angeles yesterday. He joined Caltrans to clear several encampment sites.
And we had our big body challenge today. 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups to try to get under 5 minutes. How'd you get? We got close. I was about 5:25. You were right behind me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat. So happy it's Thursday. TMI. So happy it's Thursday. Why don't we call this So Happy It's Thursday? I feel like maybe we
name. TMI is kind of, it's kind of always a little.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. You know what? You guys are seeing how the sausage is made. Let's call it.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it. We're going to do it live. Thank you all for your happy birthday wishes. I really appreciate all of you. Hello, Citizen Bendejo and Truth and Hogel and Josie and the Runs and Zizu and Kimiko, Daniel, Hester. You guys are so awesome, Josie. And I see everybody. Thank you. It was so amazing to have 2 shows yesterday. Oh my goodness. And to have so many of you come back for our second show, which was late at night for Los Angeles and early in the morning for those of you on the East Coast. But we were so grateful that you were there, and also so honored to have that talk with Mohammed. So thank you for being there with us.
Yeah, it was really nice seeing people stay up and catch that. And it's really important, I think, to hear from someone like him directly, unfiltered through any media lens. And he's not really he's been making the rounds a little bit, taking interviews, but he's not like a spokesman. He's just a citizen. He's just a regular Palestinian. So that was amazing.
Yeah, it was really amazing. And he had to make his way to a cafe to get internet service. And I was really nervous about it because I just feel like everyone has a target on his back. And I just didn't want to be part of making him visible in that regard in any way, because Israel are, just disgusting, barbaric heathens. And but anyway, he's amazing. So it was really wonderful. So thank you all for being there.
Absolutely. And I just noticed, as a birthday gift to you, StreamYard added widgets. And so I just threw one together real quick.
Let's see it.
Is it showing? It's not showing, is it?
Where would I see it?
I would think on screen, but it's not showing.
All right.
I put up a poll. Is Lila 35 or 45?
Oh, why are we starting at such an advanced age?
Oh, sure. Oh, you're right. You're right.
I'm joking. I could have children who were 35, truly. Thank you. And thank you for all of your kind words. Oh, is it it's because of the thing?
I don't know. It's just not, I don't know where it's going.
Zizu is right. Hester is even more right. And Kimiko.
Okay, somebody voted. So it must have shown up somewhere.
Wait, where do you see it? Oh wow, look, everybody just keeps getting better and better with the with the responses.
I'll let the poll run.
I
don't know. Whoever voted, where are you seeing it? I don't see it anywhere.
I don't either. Maybe it's my old age eyes. My old eyes. Okay, there's just, so much. Oh, there's Lucky. She hears Josh. Oh God, I'm gonna have to close that. Okay. Before we start, as always, we want to thank everybody for liking and subscribing and smashing that notification bell in case we have another crazy middle of the night interview. And thank you all for your retweets and your comments and it means a lot to us, and it really does help the algorithm. So thank you. Oh, there we go.
There it is. Figured it out.
I like the 1 to 35. Oh. Is she 1 to 35 or 2 to 40? Got it. I got it. Thank you. Yeah, no, I am quite a bit older than that, but thank you all for playing along. I really appreciate I appreciate the sense of humor that everybody is. Oh my God. Okay. Let us start with our cheers, which I am now reminded that was going to be something else when we talked about it yesterday. And I'm really sorry I put something else up today because I forgot.
That's right. Yeah.
I am so sorry. But I just thought, we are a pup family here who loves our puppets. And in Lebanon, there are civil defense members, and then this will give me a chance to quiet her down, who are going out and feeding animals on the street because they are terrified and hiding because of all the bombing. And so, it's just those small, beautiful moments of humanity in the midst of all of this devastation. There's a woman in Palestine, in Gaza, who has been relocating. She's been displaced so many times, relocates with as many cats as she can put into her cart or her car, sometimes upwards of 35. She'll grab some, throw them in, then go back into her building.
And the wild thing is, these are not, like, if that was happening in Sacramento, it would be stray cats, but these were probably all housed cats,
Yeah, I know.
So.
It's just pretty disgraceful what we are doing to humanity. Our government is a bringer of death. That is our biggest export, truly.
This is your dog, though. I think your dog was singing happy birthday to you.
I think that might be it. I think she might see Josh outside talking to a neighbor, and it's freaking her out. She is obsessed with Josh, like obsessed. It's crazy.
Wow.
She's going to be very sad while he's gone for 7 weeks. We'll see if she chooses to sleep with me or by the door, which is what she normally does when he's gone. But for 7 weeks, it's a long time. All right, let's do something fun before we head into all of it. There we go. And it's not the same as the Yeah Baby, but it's okay. I don't mind if I do have another glass of wine.
Same.
Quickly. There we go. I hope, and no, just 3 beers for you today, right? For God's sakes.
Well, it's a shorter show, so 3 beers in an hour is not an hour and a half. Is not.
I challenge you.
You are good at the wheel.
Happy birthday to me. Okay. Sorry. Here we go again. I'm doing it again. And then we'll just have to choose something. 1 second. Okay. Okay. Big. That's all. Okay. There we go. 3 drinks in quick succession, and we're ready to go.
Let's go with some safaris. That sounds fun.
Let's do it.
Hi. Dolly, go away. Oh my God. Throw the food.
Hey, you gotta go.
Wow. Crap.
Hey, hey.
I love the spitting llamas.
Hey, hey, hey.
Mom, look, here he comes.
You son of a bitch. Roll your window.
It kind of feels like the animals are getting revenge on them, and I kind of love it. Like, why are you holding a bucket and not just giving it to them or throwing it at them and screaming in their ears? Like, go.
And you know what? You've seen these videos. You know they're going to stick their heads in and do this shit. So
Yeah,
that's why
why
they're
you-
all filming, of course.
Bucket of food. Yeah.
I'd heard that zebras were like mean, though. I don't.
Oh.
I'm surprised they let zebras. I don't. Maybe it's just a rumor that I heard. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I always heard that they were dangerous.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger, my brother and I have a debate about whether it was in New Jersey or in either Toronto or Montreal. But anyway, we did one of those drive-through safaris and we were looking and we are like, oh my gosh, that's so funny, because we saw monkeys were like stripping off the rubber guards of other people's cars. And then we realized it was our car and they were just like stripping off parts of the car. Like, okay,
Nice.
well, we are invading your space, so you get to take a poll tax.
Fair.
Speaking of poll taxes, who exactly controls that Strait of Hormuz? How do you like that? How do you like my transition?
Nice. Good pivot. Good pivot.
Right?
Excellent.
How is that going for the ceasefire and the 10-point plan that we adopted and we saw yesterday that was basically, I think it's been confirmed by the New York Times now even, but like yesterday, I think The Economist reported on it, certainly Dropsite and Ryan Grimm reported on it, but that the Prime Minister of Pakistan was basically just cut and pasted the tweet that he was supposed to post, because at the top it said post by the Pakistani prime minister, and he forgot to delete that, and then he did, but you could see in the edit history it was very clearly handed to him by Trump or somebody from Trump's regime, and then they pretend that Lebanon was not part of this 10-point peace plan.
And that's where we're at. Our government is just blatantly lying in our faces. The gaslighting direct from the White House is just incredulous.
It is really incredible. And it really makes everyone feel like there is total chaos. And I think we've been feeling that for such a long time, but it's just spiraling. Like, this war was a horrific idea that he was clearly pushed into, Trump was, with no plan, and he's failing. He's lost. His supporters know he's lost. This was really small, so I'm just going to read it out loud, but this was his, here, let me see if I can get it up here, and then I'll still read it separately because it's very small. Trump, you know that when Trump is having one of his, just spiraling out against people, you're going to get something that really makes you feel comforted by the people who are in charge. So it's that long. Here, I'll read it. Because everybody who used to be pro-Trump, all of his friends have dropped by the wayside. So I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon, because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it, their families know it, and everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They are nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think they get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts. The use of capitals and quotations and everything is so random, and I bet you could have a whole dissertation on what it means in his head. But nobody's talking about them, and their views are the opposite of MAGA, or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump, not hand-flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist, or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question, or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so-called pundits are losers, and they always will be. Now, fake news CNN, the failing New York Times, and all of the other radical left news organizations are hailing them and giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not MAGA. They're losers just trying to latch onto MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to, but when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown.
See, brown, not green now.
Yeah. There you go. But I no longer care about that stuff, clearly. I only care about doing right for our country. MAGA is about winning and strength in not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA is about making America great again. And these people have no idea how to do that, but I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump. Do you feel better now?
That is truly amazing to come from a president. I mean, if your CEO at any business tweeted some shit like that, you'd be like, get him out of here. Like, our stock is going to tumble.
Done. Out.
Right. And he goes off on this rant. He starts it off saying they're low IQ. The only one he's right on is Alex Jones. I don't like any of the other people, but they're intelligent people. Candace Owens is very intelligent. Tucker is very intelligent.
Right.
And he should appreciate what they do, because they all are grifters like him. They are right in his alley of grift.
Yeah.
And knocking their success, they're all extremely wealthy outside of if they'd stayed at CNN, they wouldn't have nearly the money.
Right.
You know, if Tucker stayed at Fox, he wouldn't have nearly the money he's making on his own.
Yeah.
So, like, even his own points are bullshit.
It's just amazing how thin-skinned he is. Because, I mean, to have that job and not to be able to hear any opinions that contradict your own.
Well, that's why I was saying, look, it is really a difference between some personality trait and an actual dangerous narcissist, which he is.
Yeah.
And a true narcissist can't not respond to this.
Right.
He can't help himself.
I mean, and has no self-awareness to realize how weak this makes him look, right? I mean, the strongest man in the room is the quietest man in the room, typically. Okay, but so let's just go back to remind everybody where we are. I mean, this is so insane. Yesterday, Trump was pleased to announce the ceasefire and the general framework of Iran's 10-point proposal as a basis for negotiations, which of course included guarantee that Iran will not be attacked again. Good luck with that. Permanent end to the war, not just a ceasefire, end to Israeli strikes in Lebanon, lifting of all U.S. sanctions on Iran, end to all regional fighting against Iranian allies. Iran would reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Iran would impose a $2 million fee per ship transiting Hormuz. Iran would split these fees with Oman. Iran would establish rules for safe passage through Hormuz. Iran would use Hormuz fees for reconstruction instead of reparations. right away, Israel started bombing Lebanon. Oh, you're
that is an excellent list. Like, if all those things happen, and the Democrats are saying this war has made, our situation with Iran worse, but that's the best thing that could happen. Like, if Iran was closer to nukes, that's the best thing that could happen to global safety, because it would take away some of Israel's power.
Yep.
For one.
Absolutely.
So yes, and then control the strait. Yes, now they have control. Now we have to oblige by some sort of fucking world order
Other
of some
people get
type.
to make some money too, right? Like,
yes.
And the solidarity that they have with Palestinians, which is then, extended to other groups that have solidarity with Palestinians, like Hezbollah and obviously Hamas and Ansar Allah. That solidarity is the whole reason that they're so despised by Israel and the US. I mean, that's it. That really is it. They were also despised before when they had a democratically elected, socialist leader who wanted to regain control of their own resources, which is intolerable. So right away, they couldn't even get their messaging right. Like, they lied about that there wasn't really a 10-point plan. J.D. Vance said something about ChatGPT writing the first version. Caroline Levitt said, we threw the first one in the garbage. Like, these are the people you're negotiating with.
It's pretty wild to see at this level the incompetence.
Truly.
Like, regardless of what the end results are in the negotiation, like, to be publicly so incapable that you can't even get your own story right on such a major issue with the war that people don't support and never bought your justification for, and you're not getting a hair better on it as the time goes on.
I mean, not to, like, it's like, we make fun of like AOC going off to Berlin for her big foreign policy debut, knowing it was going to happen. You're planning a war. You have no strategy. Then you are announcing a peace deal. Again, like, this is like, do your homework. What are you doing? What are they doing? Like, just winging everything. Like, chaos is the fun. I really think a lot of it. I mean, yes, he's a narcissist. I think reality TV and like the wrestling stuff, I think those sort of like heightened, dramatic, the good guy, the bad guy, the back and forth. Like, I think in his mind, it's like, this gets ratings.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And it's turmoil, it's like, the more turmoil you have, the less we're on the Epstein shit. That's a real thing here.
Yeah.
Or all the other shit, the ICE, it just was one unpopular thing after another. So,
the economy.
The economy is the big one, but you can't hide. That's the part of the strait that's really sinking them, is like, everybody knows if you don't get that strait open, our gas is I paid $6 a gallon today, but it's going to go to 10. It's going to go to 10 like here.
Yeah.
If you don't get that strait open in the next month.
So right away, Israel announces there is no ceasefire.
תושבי הצפון היקרים, אני גאה בכם. אתם ממשיכים לעמוד איתן. אני מבקש לומר לכם, אין הפסקת אש בלבנון. אנחנו ממשיכים להכות בעוצמה את חיזבאללה, ואנחנו לא נעצור עד שנחזיר לכם את הביטחון. ההישגים הכבירים שלנו, גם באיראן וגם נגד ציר הרשע, הביאו לשינוי היסטורי במעמד של ישראל באזור. הם גם הביאו לשינוי לקשרים שלנו עם מדינות, קשרים שלא היו בעבר. לאחר פניות חוזרות ונשנות של ממשלת לבנון לפתוח איתנו במשא ומתן לשלום, אני הנחיתי אמש בקבינט לפתוח במשא ומתן ישיר עם לבנון כדי להשיג שני יעדים. אחד, פירוק חיזבאללה מנשקו, והשני, הסכם שלום היסטורי בר קיימא בין ישראל ללבנון. ישראל חזקה מאי פעם, איראן חלשה מאי פעם. אני כבר הבאתי 4 הסכמי שלום עם מדינות ערב, אני מתכוון להביא עוד. שלום אמיתי, שלום מתוך עוצמה.
I mean, this is just Nazi expansionism.
It truly is. And calling everybody a terrorist is the same as, I mean, it's that same sort of dehumanization. They're rodents, they're vermin, they're terrorists. And the fact that the US continues to designate groups that are taking up armed resistance against colonial powers should get us expelled from the UN. I mean, like, I don't understand why we are tolerated. Truly. It's just the money. It's the petrodollar, which I guess,
Yeah, it's all these countries' economic interests have been tied to doing business with the US. That's it. But that power is diminishing every day intentionally by our president and this administration.
Yep.
So then all you have left is your might, and these allies aren't staying with us on this Iran war. They're not going to go in and fight for us in Israel and Iran.
Nope.
So in a way, this Iran stuff, terrible as it may be, it's expediting what needs to happen to the US, which is our decline for the good of the world.
I mean, I feel, I agree with you from like a historical perspective. I totally do. It feels so, and I mean, I'm not saying this about you, but like, it's just such a strange.
No, I'm not, it's rooting against us in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. And also like the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people and, I mean, it's just like so hard to wrap my mind around. And obviously I know you're not saying like, and that's the silver I know. I'm just saying like, it's just so hard because like, it does feel like this is where it's headed and it will be better for the world. And yet.
But with that change, we have to change our standing in our government as well. So that's where, all the harm that's going to happen is it's just acceleration.
Yes.
So we know we need to do something about our own government. We know we need to change this. We know the economic agreement we've made with our government, which we didn't make, it was put upon us. We need a new social contract. And that social contract includes, everyone can fucking live and have healthcare and rent,
clean air, clean water, a home.
So, but we're not getting that until things accelerate to a terrible place where people all get on board. And that's what this is all doing.
It really is. It really is. So, okay. So now Trump obviously has some very powerful people in his ear. And I think a lot of it is, yes, it's the economy. And it's also, I think people who understand Israel are truly terrified that they will use the Samson option and start a nuclear war. And they talk about it. Listen, when Russia first invaded Ukraine in, what was that, 21? Was that 21? Yeah, 21. Biden talked about possibly using a little nuke, like the cavalier way the most powerful people in the world talk about using nuclear weapons against other people is just, it's truly shocking. But anyway, so Trump is now trying to rein in Netanyahu. Journalist Neria Krause, who interviewed Trump about Lebanon and Netanyahu, Trump said Netanyahu is on board with the agreement. And on Lebanon, Netanyahu is going to be fine. He's going to low key a little bit. He's got a problem with Hezbollah. He's going to low key a little bit, but he's going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, low key doesn't even mean you change your actions. Really, low key is just like, hey, keep it less public. Hey,
he's like low key a little bit. What is a verb? I mean, again, like,
yeah, throw the word "be" in front of it, and it makes a little sense at least. Like, but it's still not
like you're. Yeah, I mean,
we don't want our president.
It's just preposterous that we are in this situation, like World War III, and the obliteration of whole peoples. And we've got these clowns, like killer clowns is what we have. The other thing that is important, and, I do think that Dropsite's doing the best reporting overall on this, not that there aren't other people, but they sort of are a great hub for synthesizing all the information and the different journalists, independent journalists. Israeli missile interceptors have dwindled to double digits. And that's from a Trump administration official. The decreasing supply of interceptors has left Israel increasingly dependent on the missile defense capabilities of the US Navy, which is also another reason not to fund their Iron Dome or their defense weapons, because it gives them permission to be lunatics.
And just knowing how our government is so beholden to Israel, that places our armies as their main source of defense soon, which then keeps us stuck into a war because our armies will get attacked more as the obvious targets.
That's right. Which is what happened. I mean, there's no transparency on how many of our troops were killed or injured with all of the strikes that Iran did on the Gulf countries who harbor our military bases. But I think it must have been pretty severe. And they're pretending that there's just 13. Like, we're just stopped at the 13 killed on that one day where they were rescuing the 2 pilots, which probably turns out they were trying to do a ground operation to take uranium or something. Like, nobody really knows, but it doesn't feel like the stories we are getting have any resemblance to accuracy or truth.
They don't.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see what the president is doing and you see how they handled this negotiation 10-point agreement, you can't think anything coming out of their mouths makes any sense. And when you look at our partner in this war, Israel, and how they've lied to our faces directly for
about everything,
years and years now, yeah, there's nothing, you can't trust anything anymore.
So just as a reminder, the quote tweet is the Shehbaz Sharif, who is the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Is that right? Prime Minister? Sorry. I did down my first 2 glasses very quickly at 6:30. So here I am. Sorry. This is the person who basically, what you see there is the edited version minus the, hey, please post this, Prime Minister, on Twitter about our ceasefire plan. But then the Foreign Minister of Iran, Arashi, says the Iran-U.S. ceasefire terms are clear and explicit. The U.S. must choose ceasefire or continued war via Israel. It cannot have both. The world sees the massacres in Lebanon. The ball is in the U.S. court, and the world is watching whether it will act on its commitments. And he highlights that the Republic of Iran and the United States of America, along with their allies, Israel, have agreed to an immediate ceasefire everywhere, including Lebanon, effective immediately. So that was what the Pakistani Prime Minister was explicitly told to post by the Trump regime.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Israel basically said, we're going to keep going to war with Lebanon. We don't care what you think. And you better change your narrative on this, Trump, because we got the power. But Trump said, hey, he's going to low key. So we're good.
Yeah, he's going to low key it a bit. He's fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Why are we talking about like he'll be fine? Who's going to be fine?
Yeah, why aren't we talking about Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens instead?
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's important.
So Arachi now today in the morning says Netanyahu's criminal trial resumes on Sunday. A region-wide ceasefire, including in Lebanon, would hasten his jailing if the U.S. wishes to crater its economy by letting Netanyahu kill diplomacy. That would ultimately be its choice. We think that would be dumb, but are prepared for it. And then the spokesperson for the parliament, for the Iranian parliament, says time is running out. Lebanon and the entire resistance axis as Iran's allies form an inseparable part of the ceasefire. That's point 1 of our 10-point proposal. 2, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif publicly and clearly stressed the Lebanon issue. There is no room for denial and backtracking. 3, ceasefire violations carry explicit costs and strong responses. Extinguish the fire immediately. I mean, that is very clear messaging. Thank you.
It's very clear, and it's also very clear by the actions of all countries involved that Iran is the rational actor in the room.
100%.
Perhaps the only one.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid war, targeting only U.S. forces.
After being
Israel.
attacked repeatedly while negotiating. And by the way, the ex-foreign minister who was conducting the negotiations with Pakistan, who was the victim of an airstrike that killed his wife, just passed away today from those injuries.
Yeah. Good old USA.
Yeah. It's, yeah, exactly. Okay. Before we, I don't know if we're about to spin or move or whatever, but we would like to thank a couple of super chats that just came in. Citizen Medejo, Warehouse, Luigi. This is Luigi's world now.
Luigi to the next
Cheers.
Luigi.
Yeah,
Cheers.
really. We do not hear enough about that young man and his heroic efforts. Thank you, Citizen Medejo. Jezen, thank you. The Triple Trumpers have changed the channel, I think you mean the ex-MAGA crowd that he's railing against. And yes. And cheers. Thank you. And
I mean, his base is really getting cut up. Like it's hard to defend any of this stuff if you're MAGA.
Yeah.
You just have to pretend you don't really understand what's going on, which might be part of it anyway. But if you're really paying attention, it's pretty clear this is a botched war. And when you hear the MAGA folks like Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson saying this has all just been a major fuck up, like it's hard to have a position other than that. Like at best, you can agree with his goals, but he's fucking this thing up.
I mean, this is an absolute unmitigated disaster. Absolutely. And yes, Iran needs reparations. And thank you for the super chat. But wait, sorry, I'm just seeing on the side here. No, I need to read about that.
Damn it, he didn't succeed then, I guess.
I know. That would have been very, very cool.
Wouldn't that be great news? That'd be amazing.
Wait, and I don't know what the paper warehouse is. Did something else cool happen?
That was referring to super chat. What was the comment? Warehouse.
Oh, Warehouse Luigi. I don't know. This was kind of a crazy day for me. Sorry, I'm a little scrambled. I keep saying that it's not really fair if it happens repeatedly. I better do something to fix that situation. Should we spin before we?
Yes, let's
go back? Okay,
spin that big beautiful wheel.
Definitely need another glass of wine. Clearly, I can barely.
It's just that you're here on your birthday. Come on.
Right? Where else did I be? Shut up. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna pour some more. Wait 1 second. My computer is really slow. Okay. Twist my arm. I'm pouring even more. All right.
If I must.
I think after this we'll just call some kind of audible. Okay, there we go.
Puppets are winning today. Look at this.
Here we go.
Well, cat's sleeping. Why not? Cat's sleeping.
That's so cute. That's so cute. That was like, I was thinking, oh, that's more satisfying than the dog sleeping, because the dog sleeping, I kept so worried that they were going to fall and hurt themselves or break their backs or whatever. And then that one cat sort of did also. That's really sweet. They're so mushy.
Yeah. Strike. I have one of those globe things like the first cat. She's always sleeping upside down, looking at me with her paws all mushed.
That's so cute. I love it. I love it. I also love when they expose their whole bellies, because it just shows how comfortable they are, like that they feel the love. Okay. Guess who else is showing love? I am all about the transitions today. Look at me. It's the General Secretary of NATO. And again, this is what's so insane. Like, the Democratic Party knows at its base, hates AIPAC, hates the genocide, wants to distance itself from Israel, but the leaders won't do it. The country knows that we hate this war, it's awful, and they just keep doing it. We want healthcare, we want a living wage, we want homes, we want clean air and water, no data centers, no AI. Doesn't matter, we don't have a voice. The head of NATO knows that the European countries are not for this war. And yet, when asked to comment on the genocidal statements of Trump, this is his response.
When President Trump threatened to kill the entire Iranian civilization, did that bother you at all as a diplomat?
Well, what I always say when it comes to what leaders are saying, I'm not commenting on everything. What I want you to know is that I support the president, and I know large parts of Europe do, when it comes to taking out the capacity of Iran to export chaos to the region, to Europe, to the whole world. They are one of the main enablers of Russia's war effort in Ukraine. We all know this.
Yeah, all the drones.
With the drones, it is an existential threat to Israel if they would get their hands on a nuclear capability. It is great to try to negotiate it away, but we also always knew that with North Korea, it took too long, and then North Korea had its hand on a nuclear, and then you cannot negotiate any longer, and they have that power.
That's just straight Trumpian bullshit.
That's right.
That's saying I support all this bad shit happening to somehow stop Iran. So NATO is saying that Iran has nukes, and that's their justification for supporting this war. Well, that's not even true at all. Like, it's
none of it is true. None of it's true, and we all know that. And they keep spinning the lies. There's just no diplomacy and no discussion about why. Like, what's the threat to Israel? What is the threat? That they can't continue their genocide? That they can't completely obliterate all Palestinians?
The threat is they could punch back. That's it. You want to take away the ability of other people to punch back when you punch them.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also, like, the ease with which some of these people throw around the term genocide, but refuse to call what Israel is doing currently, not just like the idea that possibly they want to get rid of Israel, but that Israel is actually trying to get rid of all of the countries surrounding it.
Exactly. I mean, come on. And his opening statement is, I don't comment on all the things people say. Well, maybe when someone says something as extreme as that might be the moment. So you've commented on less important things, because that's pretty fucking important to comment on.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? And this is interesting because, all of the Western media who immediately, when Iran was firing on surrounding Gulf countries, on the U.S. military bases in those countries that were allowing the U.S. and helping the U.S. fire on Iran. And everybody was like, look at how they're psychotic. Look at Iran. They're just attacking all their neighbors. Right?
Yeah, that spin is just so ridiculous.
And then here's General Kane just admitting it.
And I want to thank, as the Secretary did, our Gulf partners who fought alongside each and every one of us every day. From the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia the UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and Jordan, all who joined us together to defend and protect our people and our assets, and who, if required, stand ready to do so again.
Good to know. Good to know. So that question should never be asked again of Iran, or the accusation, like lunatic nation that just randomly, with no regard for humanity, just attacks its neighbors.
Well, and let's not forget good old lefty ally Jon Stewart pushed that narrative.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
Right? Jon Stewart, whose whole career took off with the Daily Show.
Yep.
And critiquing George Bush in Iraq was central to that period, and questioning our media narrative. And he's out here pushing this shit.
I think that liberal Zionists, you know, it's like talking about corporate Dems or whatever they want to call, like democratic establishment. Like, they are still capitalists, and that's a right-wing ideology, and we know where that leads. Zionists, whether you call yourself liberal or a Likud fanatic, you are still somebody who believes that Israel has a right to exist as a Jewish state, which means it is not a democracy. It is not small L liberal, and it can only exist through ethnic cleansing and apartheid. So that's not like the liberal part of it is like, but we don't say this shit out loud.
It's built-in supremacy. It's like, you know, if it's like the white neighborhoods being built around the U.S. now, like all white, you know, well, yeah, the white people should have a right to exist. Should they have a right to run things exclusively for white people only? Like, that always ends badly.
Yep.
And how is it somehow different in Israel when they lean on the biblical side of it too, that somehow they're the holiest people, you know?
And also, like, they, you know, what's the name of their operation in Lebanon? It's like, is it Lions Den? It's some, you know, some biblical thing. Like, everything has always become so cartoonishly black and white, right? Like the good and the evil, and then that justifies everything. It's really, really sick. Okay, so do we have
pivot to the good old Democrats? I mean,
yeah, let's pivot. Let's pivot. Are we? Yeah, we're just pivoting, or are we spinning again? We're just gonna pivot.
Let's just jump in. We've seen enough pets for today.
Wait, what?
I said we've seen enough pets today.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't believe you, but Swalwell put this out himself yesterday. 2 polls this week. I think he probably paid for both of them. One clear leader, Eric Swalwell. Our movement is unstoppable, but we need your help to keep the momentum going. Join the team today. It felt like it was going so well. And then we started hearing some stuff. So this is Cheyenne Hunt. She is a lawyer. She is one of the founders of Gen Z for Change. Yes.
Just to set it up, in case people don't know, there's a governor's race in California to replace Gavin Newsom. We're from California, so we assume people know this stuff.
Right.
Who cares? But the Democratic Party narrative in the last 2-3 weeks has been, everyone in the party's consolidating around coalescing support around Eric Swalwell.
Yeah. We love him.
Nobody likes. We hate him.
I know, we love him. If we can't have Newsom, we better get Swalwell. Okay. So here is Cheyenne Hunt. She is a lawyer. She put this out on April 4th, and then it started getting a ton of traction. But this was sort of the genesis of what we're about to then go into.
Story.
Yeah.
People have questions about why I decided to make public comments about allegations of sexual harassment against Eric Swalwell before a major news outlet published the story. So let me be as clear and transparent about that as I safely can be. I am personally working with a group of women who want to come forward and share their stories. I am also aware of a much larger group that is also in this process that I am not personally working with. We have secured pro bono legal representation for them, and they are in the process of sharing their information with major outlets outlets while ensuring that their legal and physical safety is protected. That process takes time, but the number of credible women who have come forward since I posted my first video is really shocking, and all of them moving forward together has greatly expedited the timeline of this whole process. I got deeply involved because, like I said in my first video, I had heard these rumors for years, going back to the time when I was working on the Hill. But the first person who approached me with their story was a close personal friend of mine. Then, once I started digging into it and I found that there were a number of other women whose stories matched the same pattern of manipulation and abuse of power, I knew that I couldn't stay silent because these women needed to know that if they came forward, there was a group of people that would have their back. I understand that people want as much information as possible about these women, their stories, their identities, and the proof to back this all up. The problem is that many of these women have remained silent for so long because they believed that they were alone and that if they came forward, it would ruin their careers. And as someone who has worked in politics, I can't disagree with that assessment. It appears that others may have stayed silent because of a belief that non-disclosure agreements required them to keep this secret. While it is true that most NDAs would be unenforceable under these circumstances, most people don't know that, and the idea of challenging a powerful sitting congressman in court is not something that most people want to do. I understand and appreciate that people are engaging with discernment and critical thinking when they see things like this online. However, there are very real limits to what I can share here and why. I am still sharing these details here before this story breaks more widely to help ensure that women know they can come forward and to help this story break as soon as possible, because I am not blind to the fact that this will have an impact on the California governor's race. One more key point. I'm an attorney. I'm well aware of the fact that if I were to get on my platform and share lies about a public figure, I could be subject to a lawsuit for defamation. That being said, Swalwell follows me, and I know that his team is aware of my video and the videos that other creators have made on this topic. To the best of my knowledge, none of us have been served with legal paperwork or sent a cease and desist. They can't, because the truth is an absolute defense. I also work in politics. I'm aware that having this conversation publicly could lead people that I work with to view me as a liability, but I do not believe in holding Republicans to a standard that we are not willing to uphold ourselves. No more predators in power from either party. Period. So if you or someone you know has a story that you would like to share, or you would like to know what resources that we have available for you, please reach out.
Pretty great. And a lot of people have reached out.
Yeah. I mean, look, the number of people who've reached out, like initially, Swalwell denied it completely. He still is denying it. But,
oh yeah. It's a right-wing MAGA.
But you just don't get this many people coming out. It's not a realistic option to me that he's innocent here.
I agree. But okay, so
you got to see who's behind it too. Yes.
Well, I didn't know. Okay, some of it I didn't know who's behind it. I mean, I know obviously there are some Republicans who are excited about it, but I didn't see that there is a push. Like, I didn't know if. Are you saying it's financed by like a group of Republicans?
Oh no. But, the woman we were just listening to has ties with
right, sure, with Katie Porter.
Yeah. With Katie Porter, who has proven to be kind of a scumbag to her
she's awful.
Workers.
Yeah.
So I don't put it beyond them to leak this kind of thing, but then the number of people coming forward has now taken that off the table for me.
Right. And I assume because there are, everybody knows, like everybody knew about Weinstein, everybody knew about Clinton and Epstein, and everybody knows all this stuff. Okay, so Swalwell campaign denies false, outrageous claims of inappropriate behavior. His gubernatorial campaign blasted flailing opponents who have sadly teamed up with MAGA conspiracy theorists because they know Eric Swalwell is the front runner in this race. I will also just say, and I guess I'm so out of it, but until you said that yesterday, I did not even know. I mean, I knew he was running, but I was I hear nothing about him or from him.
It's because all the Democratic candidates are so equally unpopular that they're all hanging around 10% ish,
This is what right 2028 is going to be like.
Yeah. If you don't know, I mean, obviously, but California, we have jungle primaries, they call it. So we all vote, no matter what your party affiliation, for the two candidates that you want to progress to the actual ballot in November, or whenever that ballot is. But
I think we're
doesn't matter what your party affiliation is. So as of today, based on the polls, two Republicans in California, Democratic state would be the winners on the ballot. So we would have a choice between two Republicans at this stage. There would not be a Democrat on the ballot.
Right. Okay.
That's how unpopular.
Where was his poll? Oh, I had his poll somewhere.
And one is Chad Bianco, who's
and the other
a
one
sheriff.
Yeah, somebody priced.
Steve Hilton from Fox News.
Steve
had
Hilton. The poll. Steve who? Hilton. That's right. Hilton. Yeah. Yeah.
Fox News.
Yeah. So it was Steve, I think Steve Hilton, then Swalwell, and then who is the other guy? Republican?
Well, now Bianco's ahead.
Bianco is ahead of
Bianco's
of Hilton.
The sheriff is ahead of Hilton. Yeah.
Oh,
they're
okay.
neck and neck.
But Trump threw in with Hilton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is probably why he went down a little bit. Okay. So Swalwell denies it right away. CBS Sacramento influencer. She's a lawyer, but okay. Influencer behind viral allegations against Representative Eric Swalwell has academic and political connections with UC Irvine law professor and California governor's race rival Katie Porter. And the woman, Cheyenne Hunt, who did that first video, says sharing a background in the UC law community isn't the only thing I have in common with Porter. She blazed a trail for progressive women in Orange County, and that trial opens a path for women like myself to become the first Gen Z women in the OC. So she is definitely not on my side of politics, but that does not necessarily mean that the allegations aren't true. And then we start getting crazy stuff. Okay, so Anthony Villaraigosa, who had been LA mayor, and I don't know, was he running for governor also? I don't even know. I'm very disappointed in Swalwell as more and more women come forward with sexual harassment allegations. Swalwell skipped town to avoid facing tough questions about these allegations. If you want to be governor, you can't hide when the questions get tough, but this is an ongoing pattern for Eric Swalwell. He skipped today's forum to avoid questions from reporters for the same reason he skipped 68% of his votes in Congress since announcing his run for governor. Eric Swalwell doesn't show up when it counts. If Swalwell wants voters to trust him, he needs to show up, stop hiding behind his campaign staff and social media accounts, and answer every question from reporters and the public. Voters deserve nothing less. To which Swalwell replied with a picture of him at a town hall, which I guess is like, I am showing up. But then also, yeah, go ahead.
Well, what's his response to it other than it's ridiculous, right? Has he faced some targeted questions about these specific allegations? I mean, in fairness, the allegations aren't specified yet, so
right,
it's hard to respond to them.
Okay, so here are a few different things. This is a Trump guy, Michael Caputo, who shares a text or a DM that he had with Swalwell from 2018, so 6 years ago. Swalwell DM'd me after midnight in the summer of 2018. 8 years later, did I say 6? Sorry, whatever. 8 years later, here's the rest of the exchange. I predicted his imminent sexual harassment allegations. Even then, Swalwell's a punk. Again, this is a MAGA. I mean, this is like a pro-Trump guy. So, you know. So Swalwell writes to him, nice to see you again. I hope you told OSC the truth. They don't fuck around. I lied to no one, and you know it, so go fuck yourself. Don't sound scared. Sound so scared, bro. Not scared at all. Certainly not of you, Biff. I know you're intern. You're the Fredo of the California delegation, and that's really saying something. Okay, so that's one person. Here is Michael Trujillo. I guess Swalwell can enjoy today, but folks know he slept with many of his interns while married, sexually harassed others while engaged, has a ton of weird texts late at night saved on former interns' phones still. He will have to answer for this later on. What a awfully horribly written thing. This guy is a big Democratic muckety muck, but again, I mean, you know, like this is sort of an influencer guy, Keith Edwards, but like again, he could be a Katie Porter person or I mean, I don't know, but I'll just say this about Eric Swalwell. He knows what he did, and so do other people because there are text messages and DMs that confirm it. I mean, it's really getting harder and harder to defend him.
And look, let's go back to what I forget the woman's name who started the thing.
Hunt, Cheyenne Hunt, I think. Yeah.
What Cheyenne Hunt said is accurate. Like that statement that he just made is it's libel if it's not true.
Right.
Because he's saying that texts and messages exist that show this. So that's not a statement of, I heard that, rumors are on the Hill for years have been this or that. There are things that I have seen that prove this. So a lot of people are sticking their necks out behind this stuff that would be sued to fucking poverty potentially.
Yeah. I mean, yes, 100%. It seems to be a problem, and there is a way to address it if it's not true. But listen, I also do know that I am not like a believe all women person, because women can lie just like men can lie, right? So like I am willing to wait to see, but the way he is responding to it feels not sufficient to the moment, is I guess what I would say. Somehow this makes it even worse because this guy, what's his first name? Guttenberg. And I mean, horrible. His daughter was killed in gun violence. Was that in Parkland in Florida? I can't remember. But since then, he does everything he can to shit all over anybody on the left. He's a big corporate Democrat fan. I've known Eric Swalwell for a lot of years. I know his family. I've watched as those afraid of him spread bullshit about him, and yet he is standing strong. And for those over the years who spread this BS, they remain irrelevant. Eric will be the next governor of California. I don't know.
And I'm sorry. I just got to say, like, if accusations came out about somebody I've known for years, I'm not going to defend them. I don't know. At best, I'm going to be quiet on it until I find out. But
totally agree.
Your best friend could be doing this stuff behind your back for decades. Yeah. So
you don't, come on. I agree with you.
I hate people that do this shit.
I totally agree. You don't need to do that publicly, even if you would still visit your friend in jail, which you might, right? Like, still love you, but you are a rapist or you murdered somebody, whatever. Like, I will always be there for you. And so I'm not going to lie about you or come to your defense. It doesn't matter. Like, I am sure that actually not Donald Trump. I am sure that there are murderers and rapists who have been nice to the people they love around them. It doesn't mean that they didn't also do the other thing. Like, a rapist doesn't rape every single person they come into contact with.
Have you ever watched the interviews with serial killers? There are people that they love and protect and look after.
Of course.
Even if, the worst people on earth can be decent to some people.
Yeah. 100%. I will never understand rushing to someone's defense in that way. I don't get it.
I mean, I think in this case, not necessarily him, but a lot of the people that do, it's political, hey, Swalwell makes a call. We really need some PR good to fight this story.
Exactly.
You want some points with us, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, this is kind of interesting to me because $170,000 is not that much money. Like, and Track AIPAC, I think, doesn't only do AIPAC. They do J Street. Like, they do a lot of different affiliated pro-Israel lobbies. And it's just always fascinating how little it takes for someone to sell his soul if he had one in the first place. But anyway, and now the odds, according to Kalshi, are, but it's sort of funny, Eric Swalwell's odds to become California's next governor collapse to 44%. And I don't know what they were before because that part of the chart, but clearly, like, it looks like they were cut in half, or around. They definitely plummeted as accusations of harassment surface. And Tom Steyer, the good billionaire, his odds jumped to 33%. Just all shit all the time. Oh, you are muted.
Oh, but here we got Butch Ware. I don't want to say this is an opportunity, but look, Butch is an opportunity. These guys, these bags are showing themselves. So stop doing the rap videos, get serious, run like a politician. Don't soften your views, but be professional.
Yeah.
People want professionalism in this serious time, not rap song.
Exactly. Like, serious. We need serious. This is serious. Tom Steyer put out this ad.
I should be working right now.
Eric Swalwell doesn't work. He's missed 68% of his votes. War Powers vote, missed. Healthcare, missed. ICE detention of children, missed. One of the worst records in Congress. The vote Swalwell did show up for? To thank Trump's ICE, even though most Democrats didn't.
I should be working right now.
Eric Swalwell, he's not working for California. He's barely working at all.
It's not wrong.
I mean, that's a problem. And he thanked ICE coming from California. I mean, that's the thing, like, with these Democrats, just absolutely do not care about, they have no conviction. They don't stand for anything except for their donors. That's it.
That's the amazing thing. I mean, we keep thinking that it'll hit a point where not winning is going to factor in sometime at some point. Like, if you don't change your stance on this a little bit, you're going to lose. And they just keep, who cares? I mean, the Democrats just had a resolution on whether to, as a party,
condemn AIPAC or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Condemn AIPAC money. Oh, we got it. Yeah.
Yep. Why would you do that? Why would you condemn AIPAC, who supports a genocide, who your own base hates, who everybody's running from?
Right. And I read the article on it. Political had an article on it, and their excuse the people said for not voting to pass this, non-binding resolution. It's just like it's a
statement.
It's just a statement. Like, we won't take corrupt money.
You don't have to believe in it. Just say the words, people.
But they said, oh, we voted for something similar a week ago. It just didn't name parties by, this party or that party. It was about, and the week ago when they pulled the stuff about, there was stuff about AI in it. Like, they would, be against AI funding, and they're like, well, we didn't want that in there. We can't not take the tech money.
How are we gonna make Boku bucks, baby?
Right. So their resolution, their non-binding resolution, is to not take corrupt money, basically. Like, just vaguely. Like, what is it? What's the? It's
we're
nothing.
the lesser evil. We're the we have empathy. We're 99% Hitler.
So you got two Republicans leading the state now. Two Republicans leading the state is what this comes down to. The most democratic state in the country.
And the fourth largest economy in the world. Yeah. It's a disaster. It's absolutely a disaster. And then, so this was this Middle Eastern Policy Institute released this poll. 76% of Texas Democratic voters say Israel's committing a genocide. When you dig in a little further, 44% of Talarico voters said his criticism of Israel was important to them and swayed their vote for him. Over 1 in 5 voters, 22%, said reducing support for Israel was a top 3 factor in their vote. This is Texas Democrats, while just 2% said the same for increasing or maintaining support for Israel. Reducing support for Israel will also be a factor in the November general election. 15% of Democratic primary voters say they would not vote in November if the Democratic nominee shares an identical platform of unconditional support for Israel as the Republican candidate. Just 1% of these voters said that they would sit out the general election if the Democratic nominee supports reducing support. I'm surprised it's only 15%. I mean, I would never vote for somebody who supports genocide.
It's
Do you have a red line at all?
Yeah, it's just in how they add the question. But I love that the thing about Israel and funding AIPAC, and I mean, continuing to take AIPAC money and all this shit. It's the clearest litmus test that this guy is not going to work for us, period.
Yeah.
Because they won't even change their view to get elected. It's so important to them. So if they'll do that for a genocide, as we always say, they will not get you health care, because the same funding that is keeping them on the Israel position, that means money will buy their position, which means the healthcare industry will buy them out from changing anything on healthcare. The hotel and local commerce will buy them out from putting in any safety measures for clean air, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
And the voters get it now. They get it. They're like, oh, you're taking the Israel money. We're all against it, and you can't change your view. I don't trust you at all.
100%. 100%. Pat is right.
Thank you.
Jason, thank you. Democratic leadership is either pro-Israel or pro-corporate. That's basically Republican. Exactly. I mean, it's funny, like, oh, 2 Republicans could win California. It's like, well, I mean, we already have one who's the governor right now. Like, what difference does it? And of course, it can always get worse. And that's what they've trained Democratic voters who will shit all over you. Like, I had, some dumb. Thank you, Jason. Sorry, I just want to thank you before I go into my whole thing. Thank you. And thank you, BDA. Thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you. Cheers. When I made a comment about Kamala and Cory Booker going to the Michigan Democratic Convention, and I quote tweeted it and said something like, Democrats look themselves in the mirror and ask one question: how can we lose Michigan harder? Right? It went, it's the dumbest thing, whatever, went a little viral. But my mentions were like, fuck you, you dumb cunt, you bitch. You want it. Did genocide end? Oh, you want it, like, just on and on. Like, oh, thanks, because of you, we got Trump. And that idea, I don't remember it happening that way until Hillary 2016, where voters were blamed for the shitty candidates they refused to endorse.
Yeah, look, the Hillary campaign was shattered the glass ceiling, monumentous. First time millions of dollars were spent to attack the voters you would need to get you elected. So the $1 million trolls were a thing, and $1 million doesn't sound like anything now, but like it was crazy, groundbreaking. Right? It was groundbreaking that she spent millions of dollars on just fake accounts online to attack people who are pushing for progressives.
Yep. Yeah. It's yeah.
And that really turned a lot of us against the party. Like that calcified our support for Bernie harder than anything. That the Democratic Party, which we knew was behind these anonymous accounts, was going after us. And talk about making people not feel included in your party, which actually met the moment of how the party felt about us accurately, but we saw it tangibly with her campaign.
Yeah, such derision and contempt for the people you're supposed to be trying to represent. Like, you're not supposed to be trying to get the Mitt Romneys and the Liz Cheneys and the Lincoln Project people. Just, I don't know. It's yeah. And that's right. We did, and when you remind them that we got Trump because of Kamala and Biden and Hillary and Obama.
And when California gets a Republican governor,
yep,
it's Newsom that got us the Republican governor.
Yeah. Yeah. All that sucking the balls of Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro didn't pay off somehow. I don't know.
What a shack.
All right, it's getting late, and our Thursday shows are a little shorter, but just to do a recall to last night, we showed Abdul El-Sayed, who was, he's been coming under a lot of fire because as one of the 3 Democrats in Michigan running for Senate, he is the furthest left, and he is anti-genocide, and he is pro-Medicare for all, and he has been doing rallies with Hassan Piker, who a person might argue is the Joe Rogan of the left. Thank you. I will. I'm about to. The Joe Rogan of the left, who, by the way, Joe Rogan was also the Joe Rogan of the left because he was pro-Bernie before Democrats fucked that up too, right? And they're about to try to do the same thing. So just to remind everybody, last night on the line towards the rally, he was asked by Olivia Reingold of the Free Press if he believes that Israel has a right to exist as a Jewish state. His handler person tried to stop the question. He was like, no, I would love to answer it. What do you mean by a Jewish state? Because there's really no way to specify that without saying that it would be a democracy with Jewish supremacy, which isn't a democracy, right? So like that's where it becomes a very difficult proposition for somebody to define clearly. He kind of called her out on it. She couldn't answer. And so then he smiled, very kind, and walked away. This is how she wrote about it. Abdul El-Sayed, who is Muslim, that's strike number one, that's code for terrorist, walks a fine line on the Jewish state. On Tuesday night, he told the crowd, as he often does, that his problem is not with Jews. All of us love and revere Jewish folk, our Jewish neighbors, the faith of Judaism, he said, hands outstretched. Later that night, in a makeshift spin room assembled by the campaign, he rebuffed my question on whether he believes in Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state. What do you mean by Jewish state? He retorted, narrowing his eyes. If you can't answer that question, I'm not going to answer it. For someone who often waves around his respect for Judaism, he seemed unaware of something elementary. Judaism is not only a religion, but a people with a long-standing connection to Israel that runs through its prayers, traditions, and history. And because she doesn't seem to know that it was actually filmed, this is him, what did she say? Narrowing his eyes as only a terrorist can.
I'm sorry, Olivia. As a Jewish state. Olivia,
Yes,
we're going to have to
I'd love to
move
take the
on.
question. I'd love to take the question. Actually,
Thank you.
What do you mean by Jewish state?
I feel like
If you can't define the question, I'm not going to answer your question.
I mean, he blinked a little. You're muted, Lila. You did it this time. You're muted.
Oh no.
You were muted.
It wasn't though. I hadn't muted myself and it wasn't letting me take down the thing. I froze in my ability to control stuff.
StreamYard.
I know. It's the gods telling me to go celebrate my birthday.
Yes,
but isn't that crazy? He didn't narrow it. He was like,
am I wrong?
Totally kind.
Am I wrong to say Judaism is a religion? Like I haven't really heard the argument that it isn't. I mean,
this is a much longer conversation because on some level, like I'm not religious. I don't believe in God. Before October 7th, I would say like, oh, I'm a food Jew. I mean, before Woody Allen came out, I would say I'm a Woody Allen Jew. I would say I'm a Seinfeld Jew. Now I say I'm a food Jew. But like, it's not like most of Israel before this were not, they were atheists. They were secular. So
well, that's what I mean. To me, Jewish is you could be Jewish and not Judaism is the religious piece to it in my mind. So to me, you're either Jewish or you can be, I mean, I don't know. It's a religion to me. Period. I don't get the distinction.
Yeah. So I do. Sorry, this isn't like I'm not trying to be like, oh, you wouldn't understand.
Educate
I'm not
me.
doing that.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying with it.
It's like it is. I think because of the history of being expelled from so many different places, and also the sort of specifically Ashkenazi Jewish community in the United States, in New York, in entertainment, it became like more, people could feel very aligned with their Jewish background without having any faith in God, but still feel very much like I'm Jewish.
No, and I get that. Yeah. I do get that part. And I guess I've just never understood. I've never thought of Judaism as a cultural reference more than separate of the religious only reference in my mind. I think
there are a lot of
people, that some people do
who make that distinction who are Jewish.
Gotcha.
Like gotcha. Wait, I just want to see, because I actually love gefilte fish. even though we did a very haphazard Passover, everything was gray. Everything was great, but I do like, but anyway, I mean, that is something. And, you know, when I first met Josh, like his dad's Jewish, his mom's Protestant. When they got married, when they were 19, their parents both disowned them, and they sort of never brought any religion into the house. And in fact, when I came home to his place for Christmas, when I was 22, she got like a little sad tree, like a Charlie Brown tree, because I was the one who loved celebrating Christmas, even though I'm the Jewish one. But like, I had to explain to Josh what, like, being Jewish to me had nothing to do with the religious part of it. It was, but I totally get it. Yeah.
We're on the same page. I just didn't.
Yeah. It's just, anyway, this whole thing, and then just to like put a cap on it of all, like what's happening right now, we should probably just show the Slotkin thing and then we can be done. But like, the whole point of Israel is to say it is a Jewish state. They're doing this for the safety of Jews everywhere. They put the Star of David on their flag. Everything is Jewish, Jewish, Jewish. It is people who are anti the Zionist project of colonization and ethnic cleansing and genocide who say, I am an anti-Zionist Jew. There is a difference. And then the people like Slotkin, who is a pro-Zionist, politician, will tell us that we're not real Jews if you don't support Israel. Or don't say as a Jew. That right away takes away from what you're saying. You know, they spin all of the things that way. Like, if you are criticizing Israel, you're not a real Jew. You don't, you're a capo, like that, all of the things. Hamas is going to come rape you and you'll deserve it. Like all that kind of shit that's been lobbed at anybody who's an anti-Zionist Jew, especially over the last 2.5 years,
Absolutely.
But forever. Right. But now she'd like to make a delineation because she realizes it's hurting her campaign and she doesn't have any good words for it.
And I think the thing about her is she brings up, we keep bringing up, which is if you can't separate yourself from where the public stands on this at all, or move even a teeny bit our direction, you're not winning. And the reason she stands out even more is she was pushed as the Democratic rising star. Just like they just pushed Swalwell on us in California.
Yeah.
Like he's the star, and now sexual assault allegations. And same thing with her. It's just like the sleaziest people are being pushed on us by the Democratic Party because they are the most corrupt.
She's one of the people who's been maligning Hassan Piker as an anti-Semite and then saying, I haven't really heard what he said specifically, but like what I hear that he has said, I don't know why anybody would campaign with him, which is then also maligning Abdul El-Sayed, right? So like, that's what she's doing.
She's a scumbag. So here's the clip.
Are you putting it up?
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
Okay. All right. So here she is at a town hall in Ohio.
Okay. A good Xavier student is prepared.
So, basically, going back to what was said over here, you have not taken money from AIPAC, but pro-Israel lobbies and their donors have spent $4.5 million on your campaigns. But I do have a question unrelated to that. I just wanted to add that. So I'm curious why left-leaning media, well, I guess mainstream media and establishment Democrats are spending energy attacking influencers like Hassan Piker, as has been in the news lately, and why the Democratic establishment is just like immune to criticizing Democratic leadership like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, who are some of the main drivers in the reason that the Democratic Party is at its lowest approval rating in history.
Well, a couple of things. First, just to correct the record, I'm not sure what you're referring to on not AIPAC, but the Israel lobby. If you're equating Israel lobby to Jews, I got a problem with that. And that just like you wouldn't say, the Iranian, Iranians, whatever happens, the Iranian government does is what Iranian Americans believe. I think it's really important, especially now, to make a distinction between the Israeli government and the choices that they're making and the average Jew, okay, and Jewish people who donate to campaigns. So I feel very strongly about that. But in terms of
the fucking claps kill me, though. That just shows you what the room is for.
But who would go to a Slotkin thing? I mean, it's not like it was a packed, huge stadium. She's got 50. It was like a Biden crowd, right? But like, she's the one who conflates it along with the AIPAC crowd, which they
absolutely. Can we get an Arabic pack at the same scale that we have an AIPAC? Because I think we would question if they gave you $444.5 million.
Yeah.
I think we would
question. In order for you not to be able to, with your whole chest, say they're doing a genocide when the whole world and every 98% of genocide scholars says it's a genocide. She couldn't say that. She went on. Yeah. And exactly, Wally. Yeah. I mean, she just totally rips out what he says and mushes it up for her own.
She did the same thing she did against Piker. She said, well, if you're saying, and if what I hear is true, and if, that way she could spin to her little bullshit.
It's a total straw man. Absolutely. All right, we're going to go because I hear my husband and my son coming in to give me dinner, which, by the way, is Domino's pizza. That's what I wanted for dinner.
Oh,
I know.
I'm jealous a little bit.
I know. I just want to eat doughy cheese bread that's hot. But can you imagine this is the last attack? It's from the Free Beacon. I mean, obviously, total right-wing rag, but they take this picture of Abdul El-Sayed at his, meeting yesterday, his rally yesterday with Hassan, or 2 days ago. And they say, too short to serve, Hassan Piker brutally height mogged, pocket-sized manlet. I mean, what? These people are just disgraceful, but with humor. I'd like to apologize to the people of Michigan for this misrepresentation. While my aura may suggest I am 6'7", I am in fact only 5'9" in shoes. I ask that the press and the public give my family and me space in this trying time.
Well done. That's a good response. Stupid.
Okay. The only way to shut the shit down is to shut the shit down. So unless you're going to Luigi it, we support all strikers, all workers. This is ProPublica going on strike because their corporate owners are not protecting them from the use of AI. And they want to make sure that we all get the truth from the Fourth Estate. Otherwise, in darkness, democracy dies. Cheers to you guys. We love you.
Cheers.
Thank you for all the birthday wishes.
Happy birthday, Lila. I love you. You're amazing.
I love you. I love you guys. Keep punching up. Cheers.
It's really hard for journalists. We're so used to writing the news instead of being the news. We're fighting to get really basic job protections to avoid management suddenly telling someone that they're on the path to being terminated, which is what we've seen.
This is not a step that we took lightly. We have been quietly bargaining for more than 2 years. We're fighting for just cause for all of our workers. We're fighting for layoff protections to not be replaced by artificial intelligence. We've heard phrases like fake news for years now. We've heard that people don't feel like they can trust media in general, and that fragile trust that is being eroded by AI slop and people looking at what's on social media feeds and not being able to recognize what's real and what's not, that is a threat to this whole industry.
So in our proposal, we've been pretty clear trying to set up a situation in which AI is supplementary. It is not the main way that content is generated. It is not meant to replace jobs. It is not meant to replace work. It is meant to augment and assist. You keep the human centered. The reason that you want job security, the reason you want a fair disciplinary process is so that you have the ability to continue to hold power to account. The attacks from the outside will always be there. Our idea is that the foundation of having strong job security, having strong disciplinary protections, ensuring that our jobs and our work work is protected allows us to then meet this moment and meet the various challenges that come with reporting in the 2020s head on, instead of having that insecurity hanging over our work.
I think a lot of people have been really surprised to hear about how our contract fight has been going, because ProPublica does have a really great image and reputation. Fairly so. The workers here, we do incredible journalism. We've seen management try to erode on workers' rights across the industry, and so we really are trying to hold strong, because we also want to make sure that we're not part of that erosion, and there are standards in this contract other newsrooms can point to as well. We don't want to be out here doing this, we want to be doing our work, but we're going to have to continue to push if we can't get to a fair contract right away, and we're willing to do what it takes to get there.